how's it going, guys? Welcome to this week's edition of the Hamilton Tile Show 3/23/23. Some great dates today. So it was kind of a struggle to get here this week. I suppose Jason and I are working separately. So what did I do last night? I said, Jason, we have to film the Hamilton Tile Show before Friday. And I said, how about tomorrow? And you come here and we just start. How did it work in your schedule, Jason? Looks like you're not working today.
No, I worked. I just did some piddly stuff this morning. Just went and finished some siliconing on a job. Picked up the wood trim to make some frames for a mirror. That's about it. Just running around today, so not too bad.
Excuse me drinking. You guys can probably hear that on the mic, but I'm working. I'm building a shower here. Setting some subway tile. I got like probably 3 feet up today, put in a bench, got everything started up there. I set some 12 by 12 porcelain tile on a floor that probably needed to be self-leveled, but since we straight set it, and because this woman really doesn't have the funding to do self-leveling, which is extremely expensive, but since it was straight stacked, this is what we always talk about with homeowners, like the smaller the tile and depending on the pattern, you can do things that you can't do with like an offset pattern with huge tile. Like a straight set 12 by 12 floor is your most probably cost effective floor, wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, but unfortunately it's not what anybody really wants anymore, so that's where we're at.
Yeah, this one actually, looks great. It's a good high quality tile, good thick glaze. It's a textured tile. It's gray. It looks great, but it's just kind of, I guess it's not the style, but it's still tile. Super effective finish, right?
Yeah, the cheapest tile installed correctly is still better than pretty much any other flooring out there. So, you get what you get. You don't pitch a fit.
Yeah.
If that's all you can afford, well, it's still an excellent floor.
Exactly. I wanted to talk. Did you happen to read that email from that guy?
Yeah, I did actually see that email. No, I did see that.
Yeah, so we've been getting a lot of like negative feedback from people. One guy texted me or whatever through Instagram. It's like, pendejo, you think you're better than everybody, and all
really?
This. Yeah, it was crazy. It stung for like half a second. Then I'm like, oh. Then I looked at his tile profile, and he's like, one of his pictures, he has his pregnant wife grouting with him. I'm like, man, you must be a lot more hard up than me to be having to do that. He's like, I'll bet you $50,000 that I can out tile you and your buddy. And then I see that picture. I'm like, bro, you don't got $50,000. Get out of here.
Well, the fascination with speed, I just don't get it.
Yeah, but then, we have all these, like, I wanted to talk about the super positive experiences. Like yesterday, a guy, TJ, from Main Street Tile in Delaware, I think, called us and needed some advice, and we talked to him, and he was just super grateful just to be able to throw ideas off of us and stuff. And I've been following him for a long time. He's a pro boxer, which is pretty cool. I did some boxing, so I respect those guys. And then we got an email yesterday just from another tiler. I haven't responded, but dude, that was super cool to hear, that we inspired you or whatever, And then that made me post something on Instagram today where it's like the preacher guy is saying successful people don't dog on other successful people. They just say, yeah, thanks brother, because you're proving that it can be done. And that's pretty cool. But I also understand how you can get ego tied up in your profession, and with a scarcity mindset, you look at your competition as competition instead of what it is just like other people. And essentially, we don't have any competition. We're just really competing against ourselves, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, sometimes even when I send out these bids for the prices that I know what it costs to do, it's just, you do second guess it, am I really worth this much? But no, we are. I think that's the biggest thing people fight against is themselves. They just don't think they're worth it, maybe for some reason. I don't know. It is nice to see people appreciate, us being honest about a lot of things versus, all the negative. I don't understand the hate when someone is trying to help you. I don't get it. We've dealt with it. We've been dealing with it for a while now. You know, you try to help someone out, and the negativity that comes along with it. Like, don't you want to make your life easier? Don't you want to know if there's a better way? There is. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand the mentality sometimes. Maybe they're just stuck in their ways. I get it. We've all been there. You know, I don't know.
I think it's scarcity mindset. Like, I try to have an abundance mindset where it's like, you know, there's opportunity for everybody. There's plenty for all, you know. But I have been stuck in that competition type of like negative, like scarcity mindset in the past. And yeah, I can empathize or sympathize with those people a little bit. But, you know, when you get like positive feedback, that's pretty awesome. Like, I totally feed off of that cool energy and like positive emails and all that kind of stuff that I get, and helping people far more than the negative ones, you know. I wanted to talk also about what's your history, Jason? Like, where are you from, and like, would tell a little bit about your backstory.
Oh, originally I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Lived there till I was about 26, 28. Went to trade school in high school. We had a pretty cool program where 3 of the local high schools, we bused to another school in the area, and it was a trade school through the high school. Yeah, it was really good for me. I want to learn to do everything except for tile and brickwork. They taught us everything, and I don't know. I got trained to go to Union, do all the transit, CP, did all the stuff for Union, and when it was time to graduate, the Union kind of backed out on their deal to hire a bunch of us, and I was kind of just didn't have a job when I graduated, and just got a summer job doing carpet of all things. It's supposed to be a summer job, and he also did tile a little bit, and we started doing tile, and I really liked it, and here we are, you know. Tile's my profession. I moved down here when I was probably 26, down to Georgia, and that's all she wrote, you know. We built this good business together, me and Ben, and that's it.
And what brought you to Georgia, though?
My wife's job. She couldn't get a teaching job. You know, she in Michigan, it's really hard to get into that profession, because unless you know somebody, because people don't retire because they pay very well. That's since changed. You know, they don't pay very well anymore because their economy is just not doing very well. So, but back when, you know, 10, 15 years ago, it was very hard to get into there. Kind of had to it was like the buddy system, you know. You had to know someone and all that stuff. So she got tired of being a sub, and we just applied. She applied for down here because she knew someone whose family member lived down here, and said, "Oh, they're hiring a bunch of teachers in Georgia." So we applied. She applied down here, and ended up getting a job, and we just decided to move on a whim.
And you're the oldest, right? How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I'm the oldest. 2 brothers and a sister. Yeah, I'm the oldest. So.
How many kids do you have now?
I have 2 kids.
And what are their ages?
They are 8 and 14.
And your son's a soccer player, huh? Talk about that.
Yeah, he loves playing soccer. Loves playing all sports. Soccer's his main one. He's pretty darn good at it. He really enjoys it. He plays all day, every day if you'd let him. So, I don't know. We put him in some pretty good clubs, and we'll see how far he can go with it. But, you know, not delusional, but you never know.
And you're kind of following him around at this point, bringing him all these, you know, faraway places to play soccer on.
Oh yeah, he's, like I said, they travel pretty much out. Well, actually, we do have an out-of-state tournament, so he's on a, you know, it's a pretty good club. So yeah, there's some travel involved, a lot of time away, you know, some weekends, but yeah, it's fun.
And what, your daughter does band too? What does she play for, a flute or something?
Yeah, she plays the flute. She took up marching band this last summer. She's getting pretty good at it, and she really seems to enjoy it.
Cool. Yeah, and I'm from New Hampshire originally. I don't know, most people don't even know where that is, but it's in New England. So I'm probably like 2 hours plus north of Boston, kind of in the mountains a little bit there. And I grew up there my whole life, lived in the same small little town. My dad's from Brazil. He was a professional soccer player. And my mom's American. She's from Massachusetts originally. And they met when my dad was playing for the Boston Astros, which is a pro soccer team. And eventually he became a textile worker and moved to a factory up north. And that's kind of where I grew up. I grew up playing football. I grew up doing theater. I have 3 two brothers and one sister. So there's three of us, and I'm the youngest, and Jason's the oldest. So I moved down here in 2012 to start kind of a new life, because I didn't really have much going on in New Hampshire at 20 whatever, and moved in with my sister, and then that's pretty much when I met Jason, and we've been doing tile together ever since. So that was 10 years ago or so. I'm pretty crazy to think that it's been 10 years, but yeah. On my off time, I like to really hike. I like to, I have 4 children. So, what is it? 11, 5, 3, and 2. 2 boys and 2 girls. My youngest is a girl. Her name's Jo. She's super cute. My son's name is John. My daughter Rosie, and then the oldest is Jaden. So yeah, we're both pretty much family guys. I want to give you guys kind of like a backstory of like who exactly we were, or we are, and what we're about. Sometimes I go on rants online about the working man and all this kind of stuff, and that's pretty much the basis of it is, just raising a family and doing right by them. So that's kind of what we're all about. You guys can probably see that if you know enough about us and whatnot. But I also wanted to talk about marketing a little bit too. Like, I know we touched on it a little bit last week, but I had a pretty good example of a video that went viral. It was the one that was slow down to speed up, right? And when you think about it, most people are gonna like boast about how fast they are. Right, you're going to want to be like, oh, you're not going to want to tell homeowners that you're slow, are you? Why would you say slow? And a lot of what you do in marketing and business and life generally is counterintuitive, right? What we do is we signal to our people about who we are and what we do, right? And I thought that was a really good example, was like, tell the story about what happened with the plumbing pipe, right?
Yeah, it was basically a plumbing pipe that was never glued from the onset of the house being built. And when we went to go replace the shower, my plumber just happened to grab the pipe and jiggle it, and the pipe came out, and it was just never glued. So, most people are just in such a hurry to get things done because, speed is their number one goal. And they think that that's what homeowners really care about. The homeowners do not care about the speed. I'm just here to tell you this right now. They do not care. So, he grabbed the pipe, came out, and we were able to avoid a catastrophe by being able to, just, again, slow down. Because if we wouldn't have found that, it would have been a bad day. I would have gotten a phone call, and we all know that phone call. You got in the back of the head, an old customer calls, and like, oh, are they calling for something new or good? Or is there a problem? So.
What do you think homeowners do care about if it's not speed?
They just care about a good job, on all honesty. They want to hire an honest person to come do their work, and they want a good job. The problem is they don't know what that is anymore. That's the number one problem. They don't know what it looks like. They don't know who to hire. They don't know anything about that, but they know what they want. And that's part of the hard part about the marketing, is portraying, what you do, who you are to the homeowner. And you're going to attract those people by what you put out. And that's really the crux of our marketing. That's really it.
I got a little grief because I did a controversial post about, how about homeowners don't lie about your budget, right? And a couple comments, guys were like, "Oh, I wouldn't have you in my house because talking like that and all this kind of stuff." And it's like, I consider that very high level marketing, in fact, because here we are, 2 guys actually being honest about what contractors
and
think.
Again, let's be honest. Everybody we talk to, the people we work for, the people we don't work for, we talk to a ton of people. They all say the same thing about contractors and what they want from contractors. So we're not just pulling this stuff out of our rear, like where we come up with this stuff. Like,
yeah,
we know what homeowners want.
Yeah, but the point is that's high level marketing, because I'm talking about being honest in a clip where we are being brutally honest, and that is going to offend people. That's the kind of the funny part, is that's high level marketing, and people don't. But
everybody always says they want you to be honest with them. But yeah, when it comes down to it, no, they don't.
Well, some do.
Very few.
Our people do.
Yes, but You know what I mean. You know, you tell someone the truth, they're going to get butthurt a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know, again, we all don't like the truth. Sometimes the truth stings, but you know, you need to hear it. It's what's gotten us to how we are, you know, in this situation right now.
But that's high level marketing, because what I commented back to this guy that was giving me grief was that I'm trying to repulse the people I don't want to work for, and we're trying to attract the people we do want to work for.
What was my saying I was saying that day? What was it? He goes, he said, God dang it, now I can't remember. It was perfect. It was, what was I telling you?
He was saying.
Oh no, he goes, you're going to offend those people and you're never going to work in their house. And I said, yes, Ben, you need to be careful not to offend the people that are never going to hire us to begin with.
Yeah,
make sure you don't offend them, because they're never going to hire you anyway. So make sure not to offend them.
Right.
Something along those lines. I think it was a little more refined than that, but it was something along there.
The hilarious part is, since then, and since that guy left those messages, I've gotten 3 or 4 phone calls from people that are like, yeah, we watch all your YouTube videos. We love your content. That's why we're calling you.
Like, this is what people want. Is the homeowners don't, I guess, realize it. I don't know. I don't even know if that's the right...
No, you're trying to attract your people. I got this from the Seth Godin book. I forget what it's called. This is Marketing, where he talks about, like Patagonia isn't trying to attract Walmart customers, right?
Yeah.
Or not Target, but the REI isn't trying to attract the people that shop in the Walmart camping section.
Yeah, they're never going to go there. Yeah. Exactly. People are never going to, the people that don't care about how the project's built are never going to hire us. That's just how it is.
Yeah. So a lot of what I'm saying here is, what your messaging, your marketing, your branding, whatever you want to call it, is counterintuitive a lot of times, because you would think you want to like cast out the biggest net to catch the most amount of people possible with your messaging, but really you want to cast the hook and catch the specific people. That's why we have such success with our people, is because they just share our values. Again, I mean, it's just as simple as that. So yeah, a lot of people are going to be repulsed by our message and what we say, and that's fine, because we're not going to work for you anyway. So I did want to mention that. I thought it was kind of funny.
It's funny. No, I wouldn't say discouraging, but it's always the same tune every time. It's like, where does it come from? That's what I would like to know. Where does that mindset come from?
Yeah.
You know, like, where? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's probably forms out of people not having other people's best interests in mind. Like, I got a tow the other day, and the guy, like, I couldn't pick up the phone because I was setting tile, and the guy drops my truck off like in front of my driveway, like right.
Oh yeah, blocking the mailbox, 2 feet off the road. You know, just.
Then I called him. I'm like, dude, what was your thought process behind doing that? I was proud of myself. I was very zen about it, and he's like, well, when somebody doesn't pick up their phone and they don't answer the door, I just do what's easiest for me. And that's a peak example of what I call the employee mindset. And I always would like to ask people, what did we do before we had cell phones? People use their common sense and did what was supposed to be done and right. Like, we were able to function as a society before, like, cell phones and instant access to everybody at every time. Yeah. You know, it's like, this shouldn't be this difficult. Yeah, but when he said that, you know, my main thing was that, and my thing in business, as somebody that owns a business and is an owner-operator and is direct with my customers, is that do unto others. It's as simple as that. We learn that all through school, all through church coming up, whatever. It's not even a church thing. It's just very simple, universal rule, I believe, is do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. Now, if I was dropping your truck off, dude, would you like me to drop it off in the middle of your driveway in front of your mailbox? And the other thing is, like, this guy has dropped off something else for me, and one time he was having problems getting it off the truck, and I literally helped him push it off the truck. And I'm like, has anyone ever helped you in your life do your towing job other than me? And then you do a man like that. And Jason's like, oh, he doesn't even think about it. And it's the employee mindset. I'm here to pick up a paycheck.
Doesn't even remember you, more than likely. No. Maybe, but I highly doubt it. He's just trying to get in and out as quickly as possible because he has to get X amount of done in so many hours. Otherwise, he ain't going to get paid.
And that's why in my presentation, my sales presentation, whenever I talk to a homeowner, I always point out the fact that you're going to get better quality and better service from owner-operators than you're going to get from a subcontractor and employee drone. I don't care. You're not going to get the same service and quality as you are from somebody that puts their name on it. Like our company says Hamilton Tile. It says this guy's name on it, and like the employee mindset is so prevalent in America where I'm just here to pick up a paycheck.
Yeah, we've heard those exact words out of many employees from subcontractors we've had issues with. We've heard those exact words.
Yeah.
I'm just here to collect a paycheck. I'm just doing what my boss tells me to do.
Yeah.
Well, I am your boss because I am paying your paycheck indirectly. So,
yeah. And no discretion.
Yeah.
No self-direction. I'm just here doing what my boss tells me, and that's the vast majority of like workers out there. And I've just never thought of that like that, just because I've always worked for myself my whole life. It's like, no, go.
Which is fine to have that mindset, but again, a lot of these people, when they have that, when they behave like that at their employee job, it's because they don't have good leadership.
Yeah.
If they had good leadership, then that stuff wouldn't go on.
And good instruction.
And good instructions. So I don't necessarily blame the employee. People only get away with what they're going to be able to get away with. We all do it, We get away with what we can get away with.
And the funny thing, when we called the towing company, they like defended their employee. I had pictures and all that kind of stuff of what it is, and they ultimately defended the guy. So I don't know. I think that's part of the distrust in people is like there's a lack of competency and common sense, and that's again, being aware of it is half the battle in me, is because I know people, that's what their expectations are. So when you go a few steps above that, or you do you in a good way, people really acknowledge that, and that's probably why we get so much negative feedback too, is because people just have expectations of what a construction worker is. Mm-hmm. They don't even know the kind of stuff that I do to go above and beyond,
Yeah, unfortunately, stereotypes do exist for a reason. There's always a little bit of truth in them.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why a lot of construction workers have a bad rap.
Yeah, but not me.
Not all. We have to say it.
Yeah.
Not all.
Not all, but
a lot of them, though.
Yeah.
But again, it comes back to just poor leadership and direction, and that's really the main problem of all. These people just don't know what to do.
Yeah, it really does take hands-on instruction in order to nurture, especially a tile guy, because there's so much skill involved in actually doing tile. Where did you learn how to do tile?
Self-taught, honestly. When I was working for Dennis, we did tile for 3-4 years. Oh, I thought I knew everything. Oh, I thought I was King Tut come to tile, And luckily, we worked on some apartment complexes. So they said, "Hey, go fix this shower; it's leaking." So I go in there, and I'm like, "Hey, wait a minute! I built this shower." They didn't realize that, so we went to go fix it again, and I found out what I did wrong. Found out, wow, I don't know what I'm doing. So then I just went on the internet, and I happened to stumble upon the John Bridge website. And my eyes were opened. I bought his book, which was a fantastic book for beginners. I think it was called Tile Your World, if I remember correctly. Fantastic book for beginners to just learn how to tile. And I didn't know anything about tile. Like, I knew absolutely nothing. And it just opened my eyes, and I just was self-taught for the most part. And honestly, it wasn't that difficult. Just find the right books, read the directions, and that's really it. Just read the directions. All the info's out there, especially now. There really wasn't that much info out when I was younger. What was that? God, 15, 20 years ago? I mean, there was, but not like there is today. There's so much good info out there. There's also a lot of bad info out there, but generally just go to manufacturers' websites. That's it. It's all there. It's not that hard.
And I learned from you, like one of the things that I had is I never learned any real bad habits. I pretty much learned the book from the beginning, right? Like that's what I see a lot of folks is they like pick up these super bad habits and they think they're doing it right. And I think what I want to say to any homeowners or anybody who's had a bad experience with tile, you got like what I'm seeing is that the guys that are doing the bad work, they don't even know they're doing it.
They don't know. We get the phone calls all the time, botch jobs, bad showers, you just name it. They're a week old, a year old, whatever. And it's always the same thing is first they don't even call that person back to even let them know their shower's leaking. And Ben always says, are you going to at least let them know if their shower's leak? No, they never even get called. So they have no clue as to what's going on with their showers.
Tilers today are so transient too. Like they're working over here for this guy, then they go over here, then they move back to Guatemala, then they move to Florida, and then they're all over the place. So there's never any like stability or consistency. A lot of times that there's no like how many huge tile companies are there that have been around for forever.
I only know of like one in our area DW Sanders, Woody. I know there's maybe one or two other ones that are decent, so I can't think of the name offhand. If I heard it, I would know it. But Woody Sanders, he's a legit outfit. Runs a tight ship. He's one of the good ones. But yeah, there's just not too many towel outfits anymore.
Yeah, and he does
across the country.
Yeah, but he does training for his guys and all that. So he offered to mentor us. I mean, I know we've talked about this, but we need to go down and hang out with Woody for a week or something. We could probably learn so much from that guy. He's pretty incredible. I think he's going to be the NTCA president or something.
Something like that. He took some sort of position, I think, with the NTCA, doing something, advisor or something. I'm not 100% sure. At least he was talking about it. I don't know if he actually really did it yet, but
yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know. I think the NTCA has a lot to like a lot of work to do. I mean, outside of the tile letter, which is kind of cool, I would love to see them work on their search engine optimization. So, like, if somebody types in a tiler, their search engine comes up. But now that's just too much. Couldn't possibly do that.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you how I found them. Wow, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I might have been through a Schluter training seminar. That's maybe how. Like, other than that, you don't. They're actually kind of hard to find.
I think the other part of it is their information has to be in Spanish too. Like they're losing right now unless all their material is translated into Spanish.
It would
because
help. It would definitely help.
That's who does a lot of the work in the United States, and that particular group just doesn't. They speak Spanish. I mean, and they're proud of that. And they're not. I don't know. That's from what I've experienced. So I think
at least here in Georgia, we don't know. Everywhere else.
Yeah,
at least here in Georgia.
Yeah, like they would benefit way more people if they could get a Spanish speaking or a Spanish translation on their magazines, on flyers, or something.
Like I don't know why they don't have a lot of some sort of publications. Like they spend all this money on things that people just throw out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm one of them. I get stuff in there all the time. It's just like you're giving the stuff to the wrong person. I think they should give it to like the tile stores at the counters, so the people who actually need to see this information it's right there for them to be curious about it because they don't even realize. It's like the car sale mentality. You won't get contacted by a car salesman while you're looking for a vehicle. But once you buy that vehicle, all of a sudden you're inundated with all these emails, flyers, phone calls, this, that, and everything, mailers about buying a new car. Folks, you're too late. I just spent $40,000 on a new car. I'm not buying another one for 10 years.
That's a good point.
So I think they need to figure out a way to get their info out to the people at the right time, the right place. Because again, I get the tile letter and it's, unfortunately, where it goes straight from my mailbox straight to the trash can.
And
I've unsubscribed. Like I have personally myself, I have no use for it.
Yeah.
So I think they need to do a little bit better job at that somehow with, maybe like that reference manual. I know it would cost a lot. It would cost a ton of money, but I think taking some of that sponsorship money maybe and putting it towards that to where maybe streamline a little bit or maybe not. I mean, it's actually a fantastic manual. Have that at the tile stores for people to be able to pick up and take home and read. Because, I mean, that is a fantastic, easy read. It covers all the basics of tile setting. It covers all the problems that people generally make you know, when building showers and just doing floors in general. And
What about like the CTEF like manual too? That was an incredible one, and I always thought like every builder in America needs one of these. Like all the designer ladies that think they know about
Oh, I
tile.
think that's the reference manual. I think we're both talking about the same thing.
like
It's-
like those are the people that need that that manual, because ultimately I think the tilers kind of just do what people want. Like there's a whole other section of the world that just does what they're asked. Basically, they just do what they're told, and you know what the people want, that's what they give them. You know, if the people want a cheap tile job, there's plenty of people that will just go ahead and give them a cheap tile job. The person that wants that needs to know that that's not in their best interest, or that person that wants that needs to know that's not the proper way to do it. Like the builder guy, you know, it would be great if they started like Todd, for example. Like that guy would need a tile manual, because because he just has no understanding of really how tile even works. You know, he just, oh, it looks good when it's done.
Well, that's where tile marketing has failed the installer. You know, all the marketing has done a great job for selling tile goods.
Yeah.
You know, because that's all they care about is selling it. But they've tried to make it seem like everybody and anybody can do tile, and that is just not the case. You know,
Yeah.
it's just not how.
Or
tile
that
works.
anybody can have tile.
Yeah, anybody can have tile. You know, that's not the case. So, the marketing has been good for tile in regards of selling materials. It's been fantastic for that, because tile has exploded in popularity, but it has not been very friendly for the installer and the people putting it in, because, you know, let's just say there's only this much of the pie for a tile installation. Well, they've convinced people to spend all this money on the installation materials, but then that means there's only this much left for the installer. You know,
Well,
that's not exactly like a perfect way of explaining it, but you know, people have no qualms about spending it on the material side, because again, the marketing of it and all that. But then when it comes time to put that in, you know, they're forgetting that aspect of the tile installation.
Yeah, that's true. But you know, at the end of the day, like what I'm trying to get out there is for, you know, the tilers to get better at your sales, get better at your marketing, get better at your branding, make your videos, do your educational stuff too, because a lot of what I'm seeing is just that people are just largely uninformed. There's still guys putting in bullnose out there. There's still people putting in bullnose. Homeowner, the bullnose never is the same color. It never matches. It's never the right size. It literally looks terrible. But some people still do it.
Unless you're doing 4x4 with a mud job and you need mud cap. That's about the only bullnose that would really be acceptable at this point.
Yeah, at this point, when I see bullnose going in, I just say, wow, that's an uninformed consumer.
Because I used to think like that with Ben. Oh, people just love it. They're never going to go for you. No, you tell the people what they want. They don't even freaking know. Like it takes absolutely zero effort to go, yeah, we're not doing bullnose anymore. We're doing it this way.
Or an awareness
Yeah.
of like why. Like there's a line of reasons why bullnose is antiquated garbage.
Yeah.
You know, and all I do is I point those items out and I show you like why and how much better this way looks. But that's the difference between tilers out there that give the people what they want and the ones that, you know, are almost like trusted advisors. If you're a homeowner, do you want a trusted advisor? Or do you want somebody that's just going to do what you want? And then you have to look at your own heart and say, what exactly do I know about this? Because like I said, Mark Twain said, you know, it's not what you know that'll hurt you. It's what you think you know that just ain't so. And with that, I will end this week's edition of the Hamilton Tile Show. If everybody could go to our Instagram and our YouTube, subscribe, like, all, comment. I appreciate all you guys, and just to let you know that any comments, positive ones, really make us feel good, and those really drive us along to continue to do this kind of stuff, and to continue to be open about what we're doing and how we're feeling.
Yeah, because it's one of the main reasons I kind of like doing this. I mean, I've always liked helping people. You know, I want to see everybody do better, because there's a better way. You don't have to struggle at this. You can turn this into a real career. Don't look at it as a job. Look at it as a career. It's it's your livelihood. There's better ways. And if what we do and say can help you out a little bit, which we know it helps people out just from that email. That was a great email we got. You know, someone it's probably going to change his life, and all because he just didn't know.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a good feeling. So yeah, people are going to people are going to, hate or crap on your stuff. That's fine. It doesn't really bug me that much. What bugs me is that they themselves don't ask the question, what are these guys doing different that makes them, successful, or why can't I make that much? That's what I don't understand. Why people don't question it that way. Like, don't you want to have a better career? Don't you want to be better? Well, maybe some people don't.
Yeah. No, that's a great thing, guys. I mean, anything's possible. All we aim to do is show you that it can be done. So
yeah, if these two knuckleheads can do it, trust me, you can.
Yeah. And the basis of what we're doing is just do unto others. I think that's a great thing. I mean, that's just like the very simple way to put it. It's not even. It's very simple. Just do what you would want, and that's what I try to do. We have people work for us too, and it's not that great. So yeah, so hope everybody's doing great. It looks like spring's coming through here for us here in Georgia. Hopefully you guys are seeing some sunlight, enjoying some time with your family, doing good work and staying profitable. So Ben and Jason from Hamilton Tile, over and out.